everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Transformers Robots in Disguise review for you today. This is Warrior Class Decepticon Fracture. So as you can see here, he is mostly purple, with kind of silver and black being strong secondary colors. He comes with a large weapon here on the side. Now previously we've taken a look at two Fracture figures. There was a one-step change Fracture, which was kind of the same vehicle mode as this. And then there was the Minicon Deployer Fracture, which was more of a Cybertronian motorcycle as opposed to a kind of human motorcycle. I think this guy looks a lot better than the Deployer. As you know, if you've watched my Fracture Minicon Deployer review, kind of had a problem with the big hulking kind of Deployer gimmick hanging off his shoulder in robot mode. So this guy should have a heck of a lot more articulation and no weird parts hanging off him. Not really any bio or anything to show for you. So we'll just go ahead, we'll pop him out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. So here's Fracture out of the packaging, and I have to say, I think he looks fantastic. He's got the tiniest little bit of motorcycle kibble on his back, and it really doesn't bother me. I don't really think it gets in the way of anything. Overall, especially, I mean, from the front, you hardly even see it. And it's just a really nice looking figure. I think it's really well done. Obviously, the primary color is purple, but I feel like there's enough red and black and silver to break it up so that it's really, really well done. I'll try to get in close here so we can take a look at his face. You can see the head sculpt there. He's got red beady eyes, look very menacing. I like that. He's got a little kind of tuft mohawk. Very cool there. Silver looks good. There's the symbol on his chest. If you do the app game, you can go ahead and scan that. But overall, I think it's a great looking figure. Nice articulation. The head can swivel from side to side. You have a rotation here in the shoulder, plus another rotation here, kind of where the bicep meets the shoulder. Then you have a bicep swivel as well. Then you have elbow. The hand doesn't really move because it folds into the forearm for the transformation, which is a really big theme with Rid toys. Not really sure why, but every Rid toy seems to do that. No waist articulation, but the hips do have a ball joint, so you have a lot of movement there. Then you have a thigh swivel, and then you have a lot of movement there in the knee, and then you have even a little bit of ankle movement, mostly because of the transformation, but if you would like to, have him lean forward or lean back a little bit, you certainly can. But overall, I really like the look of him. I think he looks great. He comes with this kind of large cannon here. You can kind of hold it two ways. This kind of almost looks like a bat, so you could kind of put it in his hand like this. If I can get it in here. There we go. And then it can become a melee weapon. Or, of course, you can go ahead and put it in like normal, and then it just looks like a giant, cannon. I like the look of that a lot. I like the red paint detail there in the barrel. I think that looks fantastic. So I really like that. I think it's a really, really cool weapon. So overall, robot mode, I like it a lot, but we'll go ahead, we'll get into the transformation. So this transformation is pretty, I wouldn't say simplistic, but it's not too difficult, and I really like the vehicle mode that we're left with. So go ahead, you can start by flipping the hands into the forearms like normal. They just pop right in like that, very simple. You're going to come to the back, and you're just going to kind of straighten this out, and then flip this down. This is obviously going to become the front wheel of the motorcycle. Then you're going to flip this whole bit up like that, and then you're actually going to fold the chest and head down into the chest, and you'll see how that revolves around. And then that's just going to kind of go like that. And you can just kind of leave it like that for now. Kind of an alternate robot mode there if you want him to have kind of like a big elephant trunk or something goofy. But in any case, you're going to bring these shoulder pieces up, and you'll see how there's very tiny little tabs here. They're going to just kind of peg into these kind of big hole areas on this, what will become the seat of the motorcycle. And then they'll clip in together like that. You can kind of straighten out the arms and just kind of leave them up out of the way for a moment. You can come down here and bring the legs down. You're going to go ahead now, instead of just sandwiching these together, what I've kind of noticed is there's a tab here on the inside of this leg. You almost kind of want to put this one in the front and then kind of slide it on a track to put them together. At least that works easier for me. So, and then you just go ahead and push these up into the back of the leg. Now you'll see on these black pieces here, there's two peg holes. And there are two pegs on the shoulders, right here and here. So you just bring that up, and they're going to pop right into there. Let me go ahead and... Oh, I just don't have this lined up. So there we go. I don't think I have that quite in. It's a little bit more difficult than it looks. Or I should say than it sounds. Like I'm probably making it look fairly difficult. But anyway, they peg in. And then you're just going to bring these in and kind of just pop them in here. And that will become the sides of the motorcycle. And then you're just going to bring this down, and that'll kind of safely clip in there. And what you're left with is a, I think, pretty neat looking motorcycle. I think it's pretty cool that the figure can kind of fold in on itself as much as it does. It's a very compact and sleek looking motorcycle, and I like it a lot. He also has a little kickstand right here, so you can go ahead and do that so he doesn't fall over. I'll zoom in a bit. But I really like the look of it. I like the look of it a lot more than I did the deployer version, because obviously it doesn't have a goofy sidecar, but also just the fact that, I don't know, I think the engineering in this figure is really neat, that it was such a large figure, and it really just completely folds in on itself, but doesn't look too clunky. It still looks fairly streamlined. You know, it looks like a motorcycle. It doesn't look too ridiculous and fat on the end. I think they did a really nice job. Now you can store the accessory in this mode. So I can go ahead and, there we go. So this is his gun. You can see there's a hinge here. It just folds in half. And then there is a peg here on the side and a peg hole right there. It's a little tight, but the more times you do it, the easier it gets. So there you can see, kind of looks like a big exhaust pipe. I think they did a nice job of fitting that into the vehicle mode organically. It doesn't look too out of place. I mean, obviously the motorcycle doesn't look as streamlined as it did, but you can believe that it's a big exhaust pipe on the side. So I think that's neat. You can also kind of fold up the... You don't really need the kickstand when you have that accessory on the side. I have to say, I really like this figure a lot. It's so much better than its deployer counterpart. I do understand that the deployers have a gimmick built in, and this guy obviously does not have that gimmick, so he does not work in any way with the Minicons. You can see that they're kind of molded, like on where they would be on the show is kind of molded into the shoulders there. And that was the same with the deployer. With the deployer, they did not connect to his shoulders either. But this guy has no launcher. He has really no compatibility with the, you know, Minicons other than you can stand one next to him. That's about it. But I like this figure a lot. As far as a Warrior class figure, it's fantastic. The deployers are good for their own reasons, but unfortunately I think that Fracture was the weakest of the deployers, so it's nice to see him get the Warrior class treatment because I do like the character on the show, and I wanted a really nice representation of him. And I'm very happy with this figure. I couldn't be more pleased. I really don't know if there was anything I would change. I really have no complaints about the figure whatsoever. I think it's great. So if you can find this guy, I would definitely recommend him. If you're on the fence and you didn't know if you should pick this guy up versus the deployer, I would definitely go for this guy over the deployer. Yes, you're going to miss out on the Minicon that's exclusive to the set with him as a deployer, but I'm sure I think it's already been repainted as something else and released in some other packaging, whether it's a 4-pack or an individual repaint that's coming out later. I'm sure there'd be another way to get that Minicon. So I think this guy is the way to go. But you let me know your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. Please like and share this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Warrior Class Fracture from Transformers Robots in Disguise. And thanks for watching.